I come from humble beginnings, from Chicago, Illinois. Project baby. Man, I was raised in the projects, man. Roaches and rats. I guess my childhood was good as it can get, man. You know, I had a mama that loved me, and my father, you know, he comes from generations deep of gangsters and hustlers and pimps, man. So you know, my neighborhood, man, was on the south side. You know, saying by the convenient greenies. Gang, man, said, you know, my mom told me one day, you know, saying that she couldn't afford to feed me and my little sister no more. So she said I had to go, and I did. After that, man, I went and joined the gang. You know, to get to the streets, man. You know, I was homeless, but you know, I didn't know what to do. So you know, my neighborhood homeboys and my friends, man, so they took me in, man. I gave to Disciple Nations, GD. Selling drugs and gangbanging, man. That was a way of life for me. Finally, man, you know, my dad, you know, he was military. You know, I really didn't know him, but he tried to get to know me. And the way I got down to Texas, man, he was stationed at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. So I went down there to spend the summer with him, and it was all right. It was cool. But you know, me, man, I came down there, you know, say wild, young. I was like 16 years old, and man, I'm selling drugs, drinking, and thugging. And one day, I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I had a trap. I was selling drugs in the trap, man. I was selling crack cocaine. And I had my chick with me. I told her, like, I'll be right back. Just go ahead and chill. So I left. When I came back and pulled back in, man, I see this car sitting there like in front of my apartment. I'm like, what's going on? So as I get closer, I see this dude sitting there in the driver's seat. You know, I paid him no attention, but my door was open. It looked like my door was kicked in. And I hear screaming and fighting, so I go in there. And I see this dude, man, he's beating up my chick and raping her, man. You know what I'm saying? On the pretense of coming to rob me for some drugs and some alcohol. So I shot him. I shot him dead in his chest. Then I went outside and I shot the other one that was in the car because I felt like he was implicated. He brought himself there, so you know, I shot him too. So at 16 years old, man, you know what I'm saying, I caught a double homicide, murder case. All right, man, I did get charged with capital murder, man. I could have beat the first one. If I did go out there, I could beat the first one because he broke into my house, he broke into my apartment, to my domain. But the second one, man, I couldn't date to get a 25 ag, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I sent me to the YLP program in Missouri. That's outside of Houston. And that's after when I turned 17, they reclassified me, shot me out there to the wolves, man. You know what I'm saying? It was difficult, man. Fighting every day. You know what I'm saying? Youngster. Back then, I was in penitentiary when the penitentiary was a penitentiary. And say you either did three things. You either fight, or you'll bust a 60. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't want to say the cuss word, but you know what I'm talking about. And I refused to be hard, man. And you know what I'm saying? I had those bunch of gangster disciples in the penitentiary. So I ran with it. You know, when I got to my sixth or seventh set off, you know what I'm saying, I came to a deep realization, man, that I'm not going home. You know? And I started messing up even more, man. I was, you know, shit my language, I was fucking up. You know what I'm saying? I was cell phones, you know what I'm saying, selling weed, tune, messing with boss ladies, man. And at the end of it all, I finally ended up in SEG. I got G for it. They sent me to Ferguson Unit. Man, Gladiator School, man. I didn't make it there for like 2 weeks. And so after that, they segged me up. So when I was in SEG, man, I kind of like, I was depressed, man. I hit rock bottom. See, I was locked up in a lockup. You know, go out for like 1 hour rotation, and something happened to me there, man. You know what I'm saying? I was getting no commissary. I was getting no visits because I was disciplinary, and the only thing I had was a Bible, man. I had a Bible, man. That's when I picked it up and I read it, and I can honestly say, right there in that moment, man, it changed my life. You know, and I read it. You know, I took my time. I started from Genesis, and I read it all the way to Revelation, man. The in-between stories of Moses, Exodus. You know who my favorite dude in the Bible was King David. They said King David was a man of God's own heart. You know, and he had blood on his hands, man. You know, I can relate to him because he he murdered his homeboy. He murdered Uriah. They're saying he took his wife, took Bathsheba. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, and God forgave him. So I felt like, man, if God can forgive King David and forgive us for he sent his son, and it kind of like changed my life. So my testimony is like this, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, say that everything's been good in my life, because it hasn't. One of the other reasons why I'm here, man, is because of this brother right here, Eric. Say, man, one day I was doing bad, man. I was doing bad. I was walking down the house of Nehemiah right here. I think I needed some money to do something, man. I was broke, and this brother came, man. Eric came and gave me $10, man, and made a big difference. And I was in a bad relationship at the time too, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I was with this girl who I thought was for me, and at the end of the day, man, what the word says about being in a relationship with loose women, I'm saying, and not being bonded in the common bond of marriage, it makes a big difference, man. Because at the end of the day, man, I think the devil, demons, man, it's real. And man, she was sucking my strength, man. She was draining the life out of me, man. So finally, man, I got on my knees. I prayed, and this brother prayed with me too. He prayed with me too, man. So now my situation is a whole lot better. I'm not homeless. You know what I'm saying? I got me a place to stay. It ain't the best place, but you know what I'm saying? It's I can lay my head. I've been working under the table, man, at a construction company. And hey, man, my brother asked me if I could come and give a testimony, man. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie, man. I was really kind of nervous, to come down here and do it. But one thing I realized in my life that I gotta do, man, is to keep my word, man, and follow through. If I want to live a good life and do what God says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So at the end of it all, brothers, I just want you to know, man, keep your head up and stay strong, man, because God's real. And right now, man, we're in some troublesome times. I mean, right now, I was reading the book of Revelation 9 and talking about how my angel came and he opened the seventh seal and he poured out a bowl of wrath, on the whole world, man. And the disciples asked Jesus, how do we know when being times in the end? And Jesus said, he goes, not even now, only the Father. And I will tell you this. He says, Father will rise up against son, mother against daughter. There'll be wars, rumors of wars, and pestilence. And earthquakes in various places, man. And he said, but take heart. These are just the birth pangs of it all. So now I sit back, man. I'll be watching these politicians and our government, man. And it's hard, man. Who can you trust? But I know who you can trust, though. You can trust him. I put my faith in him, man. And on my best days and on my worst days and my best days, I give him praise. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? I'm a sinner, but there's a verse in the word, and I don't want to get it, I don't like misquoting the Bible. It goes just like this. It says, if you believe that Jesus died on the cross and shed his blood for the remission and forgiveness of all sin of the world, everybody who believes in it, and that he died and was buried and rose on the third day, ye are saved, man. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that's something that was instilled in me by my mama, even though my mama couldn't take care of me, and it wasn't her fault. I forgave her, and I love my mama to death. She was a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful woman, the queen that she tried. But at the end of it all, man, what she said was true. She says a disobedient child lives half his days, and the days they live in is in grief and sorrow. So, man, my life was grief stricken. I'm saying not nobody else's fault, but on the decisions and things that I was doing, man, because I wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. So right now, man, I told my brother earlier today, man, if you gotta make a start somewhere, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. So today I stand, man. I stand here giving my testimony, and I hope that it touches somebody, man. I hope that maybe, seeing a thug like me, man, what I'm saying, a project baby like me can make a difference. What I'm saying? Y'all keep up the good work, man. The house of Nehemiah is beautiful, man. There's plenty of times when I walk by and I see y'all marching and doing your cadence in the morning. Like, man, what's going on over here, man? What's really going on? But I didn't know that, man. Your lives being changed, so, man, because this brother right here, he helped me. He prayed for me when I needed it, man. And we have an obligation to spread the word, tell the truth. The truth is, man, God's real, man. He loves you. God bless you, and thank you.